Good morning, KBVR Corvallis. Good morning, KBVR Corvallis. I'm Jake McGrady. You're listening to Second String Sports right here, 9 a.m., the Sports Talk radio show. Nice little foggy, rainy morning, but we're up. We're lively, ready to talk some sports.
We're ready to rock.
Ready to rock. So what do you guys think about this week? How's it been? Midterm week, week 7.
I feel like it's been, in the sports world, it's been pretty exciting, for me at least. I mean, so many great NBA games and, just chilling out a little bit.
I know, I
week
feel like,
7.
Well, for me, I really haven't done anything this whole entire week.
Logan over here in the corner hasn't done anything.
It's true.
Well, I've gone to school. I've done the
quote unquote.
I've done the classes.
To school.
But what I've done, I've really started getting into Dexter.
Oh boy,
it's my new addiction, my new drug.
And that's of course about the police officer who's the
TV
killer,
addict.
right?
Serial killer, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never seen it. I've just been in it.
Yeah.
So.
Started last week. Already almost done with season 2.
That's what you call an addict right there. A class 1 addict, ladies and gentlemen.
Netflix addiction right there.
Yeah. Last week I didn't have to do anything. Now I'm just becoming addicted.
Yeah, I feel like week 7 at OSU is a work week, kind of the calm before the storm. We got week 8 coming up, Thanksgiving on the horizon, Thanksgiving's always a good time, but there's always that like glooming. Next week is dead week. This sucks.
Yep, got to gear up for study grind.
The study grind, and I feel like this time of year is honestly the best time of year for sports. We got college football in its best prime right now. NFL is just winding down, getting ready for the playoffs. Obviously, the start of the NBA about 10 games into the season. There's nothing better than having all 3 of your favorite sports going at once.
And when all the NBA players are healthy.
Yep. It's
NFL players getting competitive.
Finally, yep.
Little college hoops going on. I went to both.
College hoops starting up.
Both Beaver games. They pulled it out against UP and
let's not mention that first
couldn't
one.
get the first one.
Let's not even.
Yeah, we'll talk about how we feel about the basketball
that a little bit
team
later, but the basketball team will be fun to talk about.
They're still exciting to watch. You get courtside seats if you go.
Yeah, not gonna lie. You always get a good seat. You don't have to camp out for tickets.
It's exciting.
It's raining outside. You're indoors.
It's about 10 times better than high school basketball.
More like 40. High school basketball is pathetic. Well, not pathetic.
Especially
depends on.
South Anchorage High School.
For any of you Oregon natives, I went to Tualatin High School. We've had a good team in the past, but once the players leave, high school basketball can get pretty normal. I don't know any other way to put it. But yeah, basketball season starting up. We're probably hopefully next week or the following week we should get some of the basketball players in here to talk about the season, give a little season preview. We've been talking to a few of them. And yeah, should be fun.
Yeah, I was trying to get Hallis Cooks from I think he's from New York, isn't he? I was trying to get him
I believe so. Hallis, if you're listening, come on the show, buddy.
I was talking to him on Twitter the other day and he said he's going to come in, so listeners be ready for a Hallis Cooks interview.
I'm trying to get my buddy Devon on here. I met him a few times. Sold him my T-shirt from a T-shirt company. He said that he wants to come on and talk. Coming back from his suspension, I'm sure he's got some things to say of what he thinks the season's gonna head towards. But yeah. So what do you got? What's the first sport you guys want to talk about today?
We could just do some news maybe.
Yeah. What's some big news?
Well, for me, Linsanity is back.
I agree with you. That is.
Jeremy Lin is just dominating.
But he's still not starting, though. He's coming off the bench.
He had 31 off the bench 4 nights ago.
Yeah.
He killed Philly. He had 9 threes, which was a record in Philly.
A lot of people discredited him, said, when he went to Houston, he should have gotten nowhere near the money he got. It was just a fluke in New York, which I'll admit, at first, I sort of agreed with it. I thought that it was a miracle. I was riding the Linsanity bandwagon, sipping the Kool-Aid senior year of high school.
He just needed to adjust, though. He
needed to adjust. He's found a team that doesn't have Carmelo Anthony, the grand ball hogger, on the team. He does have Dwight to deal with.
Classic Jeremy Lin, though.
James Harden
against Philly on Wednesday, 34 points, 12 assists.
Wow.
Guess how many turnovers? He had 8. 8 turnovers. So
that's a classic Jalen.
That's classic Jeremy Lin. He did that all on the Lynn Sandy streak. That was like the biggest weakness was turnovers.
Yeah.
But
He's probably just making up for
that was fun to watch this week.
anything that
Not gonna
Dwight
lie.
does.
Yeah. Another sidetrack here is MLB MVPs got announced.
Don't care.
Grunt.
Yeah, I mean, I read the article, but
Yeah.
it doesn't really.
Yeah. Well, one thing I thought was.
Let's be honest. No one's focusing on that right now.
Well, Mike Trout.
There's fear in Logan's eyes.
Well, there's
awoken
some
the beast.
things.
Oh, no. The baseball beast. Go, Logan.
Well, there's some. Okay. Mike Trout literally got gypped of the MVP once again.
Okay, why
this
did he
year.
get gypped? Make your case
Miguel
why
Cabrera?
Braun. Or, yeah, no.
Mike Trout.
Yeah,
Braun.
Mike Trout.
Mike Trout easily had the best year out of probably any 21-year-old in the history of any baseball.
Is that why you're saying it's factored that he should have gotten the MVP just because of his age, though?
No, if you look at his stats, he didn't have the batting average as Miguel Cabrera, but he had almost
Okay.
as much hits. He almost, I think it was 20. He Miguel Cabrera didn't have like the power numbers he did the previous season, and
Didn't he have 44 homers?
he did, but he didn't have as much as last year when he won the Triple Crown.
You think it's just the league?
And-
Well, yeah. I mean,
but-
he's not going to repeat his triple crown.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he didn't even get the Triple Crown. But Mike Trout, you put into account that he also has so many stolen bases. I know it could be either one, but I believe that Mike Trout should have got it. Maybe I'm a little biased sometimes,
But, I mean, Tigers also made a deep playoff run, so that's something else to consider.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know.
Do they even factor postseason into MVP at all?
They do.
That's
but
what I thought.
if
I thought they did.
Yeah, but
Because did the Angels even make the playoffs?
yeah, Angels didn't make no. They had a terrible season.
That's what I thought. I mean, yeah, Mike Trout, he's so fun to watch defensively too. That's another huge thing that he has on Miggy is defense.
Yeah, no,
He's making diving
defense.
plays all over the outfield.
Well, he's 5'2", but
Yeah.
then Miguel Cabrera only has hitting.
One.
Yeah, but if the Angels actually do decent next year, I think Mike Trout will do it.
Oh, yeah.
he'll get the MVP.
Yeah, yeah.
He'll get the MVP eventually, but I thought this year was
He's
the year.
21. He's going to be in the league for, another 10, 11, 15 years?
Hopefully. Mike Trout's kind of bulky too. I think he's on some roids there. Sipping that
Yeah.
Barry Bonds. Did you see him? He was big this year.
Well, he
Pouring a little
yeah,
testosterone in his hot cocoa?
he tacked on a few pounds here in the last
A few.
offseason.
His neck is thick.
He's a beefcake.
And Cy Young was Kershaw and Scherzer, right?
Yeah, sure. I traded Scherzer in my fantasy league, but
Ooh.
it ended up being clutch too because I won the fantasy championships. No big deal. Shout out to Lou. # stop the three-peat.
Yeah, we'll talk about fantasy sports towards the end of the show. We got some interesting things to talk about that. We're pretty deep into fantasy basketball right now. But yeah, talk a little baseball. What do you guys say? What's some other breaking news that we should talk about?
Well, Peyton Manning missed a practice this week. His ankle injury. It could affect Sunday night's game against the Chiefs.
It could
What do you guys
affect
think?
Go for his ankle. Take him out.
Whoa. Whoa. Classic Chiefs fan. Classic.
Dirty.
You gonna be in the back of the cop car with your wide receiver over there too?
No, probably with your guys' bread boy from
Dwayne
Oregon.
Bowe.
Oh,
yeah.
my Dave.
Oh, yeah. So for all you
For
Dave's
all you
Killer
native
Bread fans.
native Oregonians, if you've been walking through Costco on a fine Sunday afternoon,
I love Dave's Killer Bread. And he was just
Yeah.
arrested last night he had a big
arrested for like 6 things.
hit and run with 3 police cars. He crashed into 3 police cars. And
Dave done messed up.
he already spent 15 years in and out of prison. It's a guy who turned his life around, started a huge bread company, and he's the
It is
co-founder.
great
so
bread. It's good for you.
It's not going to
got
affect the
vitamins.
company really that much, but it's just like
They don't need Dave.
it's just sad to see a guy who
It's
completely
sad to
turned
see.
his life around and then he's probably right
Well,
back in jail.
Apparently, he didn't turn it around though.
Yeah. Apparently he's lying to all the kids that he talked to.
Yeah. He came and talked to my mom's class, and it was a disturbing
Yeah,
experience.
he came to my business camp and he really impressed me, but
Yep.
it's disappointing to see.
Speaking of disappointment, let's talk about some NFL games coming up. We already brushed on it when we were talking about, the biggest one this weekend is obviously the 9-0 Chiefs versus the 8-1 Denver Broncos.
In Denver, so that's a key thing because Chiefs have a huge
like
home
Logan
advantage.
said, Peyton Manning with the strained ankle that's been aggravated the last 2 weeks. Personally, I think it's classic Peyton. He knows how to get in teams' heads. He's Peyton Manning. He could play without 2 arms.
But wouldn't that make
he
them?
would throw with his foot.
I feel like that would make them more confident, if anything. But I don't
Or
know.
it'll make them think that, or it'll make them overly confident, and then
Yeah.
he's just gonna
This
come
is
out
gonna
blazing.
be a real test of the Chiefs defense.
Yeah.
Defense is ranked number 1 overall in the whole.
What do you
whole
think?
league.
He'll play, and
No,
I don't think he'll be
Peyton's gonna
affected.
play. There's no doubt about it.
He wouldn't not play in a game like this. It's
No.
their
Yeah,
their
he's
defining game. We'll see what happens. What do you guys have in this game?
I see
already know
Broncos
Logan.
pulling
I
it
think-
out.
I see people going a high-scoring game, but I see this going probably I could be in like a 17-14 game going either way.
Wow.
I think
I-
this game exposes Alex Smith as a weakness for the Chiefs,
Alex Smith, a.k.a. Steve Blake.
aka game manager.
There's nothing wrong with a game manager here, guys.
He has like 6 touchdowns this whole year, doesn't he?
It's like saying, would you rather have...
Peyton has 33.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
Jamal Charles leads the league in rushing.
I thought he was like 5th.
Well, they just probably just because they had their bye week, but before their bye week.
Jamal Charles does impress me.
He's pretty solid. Oh, Alex Smith has 9 touchdowns and about a 60% completion. Peyton has 33 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah. I want to... Hold on, though. I want to give a little stat alert. Fun little stat alert. If you don't know that I'm a huge Seahawks fan, but the record for most touchdowns thrown by a quarterback in their first 2 seasons in the NFL is 22 touchdowns by Big Ben Roethlisberger. Russell has 20, and there's still 6 games left in the season, so he's coming out smoking. Just saying. He's a boss.
Yeah, he's breaking that.
What if he didn't?
He's breaking that record.
He only throws 2 touchdowns the rest of the year. That's not gonna happen. Then knock on wood. If you can hear that on the radio,
Yeah,
I just
well,
knocked on wood.
He'll probably throw a couple this game because Percy Harvin's back.
Yeah, Percy Harvin's making his debut. Not sure how much playing time he'll get or how big of a factor he'll be because I don't know how healthy he's actually feeling.
Yeah, getting Percy back is going to be huge.
And
for
of
them.
course, guess who they play?
A healthy Percy.
They play the
would be huge.
Vikings, of course.
Yeah.
And of
Former
course,
team.
they just tried to do that trade.
You knew Percy would be coming back to play against the Vikings.
They just
too.
tried to trade for Jared Allen, too, so there's multiple storylines in that game.
Yeah, multiple. There's honestly that game's going to be a destruction.
And San Francisco travels to New Orleans, which could be
San Francisco Nolans.
a really fun game.
Nola.
Alden Smith came back last week, didn't really do much, and we'll see how much of an impact he has this week. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm still skeptical on that guy.
on Alden or
Yeah, Alden. It's hard to support him.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Alden sucks. I
Yeah,
hate
this
him.
got to be a pretty good game. But,
Jake taking the extreme over here.
I've never been an Alden fan, even his early when he first got drafted by the 49ers. He's great. Not, don't get it twisted. He's an excellent defensive player, but just his attitude. We had this discussion on Twitter the other day. Some people were getting on me and Grant because we dislike players, which personally I don't see why you can get mad for disliking players. I've been called out because I dislike certain players, and I've been said, "Oh, Jake doesn't like players with personalities." I like a million players with personalities. I just don't like players with bad personalities. So take that, Kobe.
Shout out Darian Souza.
Yeah, if you're gonna watch this podcast, sorry, bud, but I can
Yeah,
dislike
he's calling me out
I can
for saying-
dislike as many players as I like.
Because I said I kind of hate Matt Barnes, Blake Griffin.
It's
But
Matt Barnes. He's a rat.
I've never liked Matt Barnes, and Blake Griffin's just too cocky. Little redhead, shouldn't be in the NBA.
He shouldn't even be in the league.
No, actually, Blake Griffin's
Griffin's
amazing.
He's a good player, but
But
he's top 5, I'm sure. And
Matt Barnes, Blake Griffin, Meta, and Kobe are all guys that I can never root
What
for.
a coincidence.
ever.
They're all in L.A.?
Well, Meta's not now, but
Was.
I mean, people get it twisted when you say you dislike a player. It doesn't mean you don't respect them. Because if you said that you didn't respect Kobe, you'd be an idiot. You should go sit in a corner in a box and just never watch sports again for the rest of your life. He's
Yeah,
one of
there's a
he's
huge
one of the
difference.
greatest basketball players of all time. but I don't like him.
I don't.
Logan would agree. You can dislike. You don't like Kobe.
You can hate the Lakers.
You can hate the Lakers. You can hate Kobe. You can hate his personality, but you can't hate what he does
puts
on the court. Just how I feel. Just how I feel with a lot of players in the NBA. But we'll talk about that later when we get more in depth with the NBA. Is there any other final NFL stories we want to cover? Big games.
Big game for my Ravens playing the Bears this week. Playing
that
Chicago.
was a crazy win for the Ravens last Sunday. Actually, thought they had in the bag against
Justin Tucker with the Terrio dance.
Yeah.
Ooh, kill him.
Why would Tucker ever do that?
Because Tucker's a boss.
Tucker's probably chilling with Terrio in Miami, eating shrimp with Rick Ross. What a boss!
So Ravens are at Chicago. Ravens are 4-5. Bears 5-4.
It'll be a tough game. It'll be a really tough game.
Honestly, I have no idea.
Well, the Bears, they're starting Luke McCown again this week.
Oh yes.
Yeah, they don't have Jay Cutler going.
Let's pull it out, Ravens. We need this. Catch up with the Bengals. Bengals are 6-4.
Yeah, Bengals are actually
it's like a race
going on a little slide here.
I saw an ESPN article about
decline.
The Browns making the playoffs. If anything, the Ravens would make it.
I did see that
Browns.
too. The Browns' chance.
What would Mike do?
Oh yeah, me and Logan's roommate Mike is a huge Browns fan and a little bit of a Cowboys fan, but mostly Browns. And he would probably get a Browns tattoo if they made the playoffs.
I don't even want to see that playoff game at the minute. It would be the lowest viewed playoff game in the history of the NFL.
Just like if the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl. Sorry about that, Logan.
That's true. That's
just
true.
Kidding, no, but kind of.
No, you're not.
The
kidding.
best fan base in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean they have fan base, but
yeah, right.
They wouldn't draw viewers though. No, their
best fan base.
Yeah, their fan base is diehard. Have you ever seen a Chiefs game, dude?
Have you ever seen a Seahawks game?
I think Chiefs might be more diehard because out there in Kansas, got nothing else to do. Watch Chiefs highlights.
I don't know about that. I would say they're par for par.
Seahawks are pretty.
Seattle fans are trash.
Seahawks are kind of bandwagoners.
That's a joke.
Especially because we live in Portland. There's not Jake, but there's a lot of bandwagoners.
I'm not a bandwagoner, but I will admit the Seahawks have been completely bandwagon ever since Russell got
Jake,
here.
you should stop.
It spoils it for me, honestly, because every time I say I'm a Seahawks fan or I cheer on Twitter or whatever, I get called out. It's like, yeah, I've been rooting for the Seahawks my whole life. Thanks for calling me out.
Yeah, that was like me last year. I've been a Ravens fan since they won the Super Bowl and
there's upsides and downsides
Dilfer.
to a team that's been bad getting success.
Jake, you should just stop being an NFL fan and maybe just start becoming a Thunder fan.
If you guys want to talk about that, the Portland Thunder, the new AFL team. If you guys want to tweet us your opinions, we might shout you out on the show. You can tweet at us at second string KBVR. That's second 2ND, the acronym for second. Tweet at us and tell us what you think about the Portland Thunder. And if you'll go to a game, I'm interested. I hate the name.
Season tickets are $100.
It's a trash name.
Should have been the Sasquatches.
Anything but the Thunder, honestly.
It's just I don't know. It's unoriginal. That's all I can say about it.
We could drive up for one spring term, probably like $5 a game.
Well, you guys can drive up and watch me because I'm going to try out for the team.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. One of our buddies, Jeff Lulay, sent in I think he sent in a highlight vid to the Portland Thunder. Somebody acted as his agent and he sent in a highlight. Jeff, maybe
I emailed him too.
You emailed him? Jake. What position?
So if you guys,
that's hilarious.
Last time I played football in my elementary, middle school years. I didn't play in high school because I played basketball and soccer. But I emailed them and just gave them my height and weight and stats and just said if they'd be interested. And they said they gave me an email and a form and said if we're interested, if you want to come to open tryouts.
Jake, you should do
maybe.
it.
I don't know about that.
Go for.
I would probably be killed. They have former NFL.
Go for a tight end.
And like
kicker.
Alabama linebackers.
Jake, you'd be a long snapper.
A long snapper. Oh God, I'll take the job from Houston Lillard. Damian Lillard's older brother.
Wait, really?
Is the quarterback for the Thunder.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was Darren Thomas.
No. Even Darren can't even get a starting job in the AFL.
Wait, seriously? Dame's brother?
Houston Lillard tried out for the team 2 days ago.
And who was the other?
They said he impressed because he's apparently he's a extremely good AFL quarterback.
Jeez.
But
Who was the other big name?
The other big name, Darren Thomas.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Former Ducks quarterback, went on to try in the NFL draft, got picked up by a practice squad, dropped, became a second string in Canada. Classic Duck player. Who knows? 10 years from now, he may be chilling at KFC with Michael James, working. I'm just joking.
Beavers basketball. Wow, I'm just reading this article right now. Beavers basketball got a 4-star recruit, 6'10", 250-pound center from Florida.
Yeah, I saw that from Florida, but
Isaiah Manderson.
yeah, probably gonna need some height here in the next future with Collier.
Collier's leaving.
Moreland.
Moreland, that's another. What do you?
Brent.
That's 2 huge recruits. Gary Payton's.
Yeah. Okay. So
The Mitten.
Yeah, I want to talk about the Mitten.
Gary Payton Jr. and
He's not.
Isaiah.
Yeah.
I honestly think Mitten.
Gary
Payton II isn't going to be a factor.
Gary Payton Jr. coming over from a junior college in Salt Lake City.
He'll be a good defensive player. I watched the highlight tape, and he can get up. That's the main thing. He can block and steal and get out on the fast break and throw it down.
It'll make games interesting. He'll come in. You'll bring your Mittens to the games and be like,
Oh yeah, you think that's gonna be?
that's gonna be a
they're gonna
thing.
start to
It's
sell
gonna
the,
be a huge
the orange
thing.
and black mittens.
oh, that's gonna be a thing.
I don't know if they'll
Easily.
sell them, but people
Yeah,
will make
people bring
signs
'em.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
It'll be probably the father Gary, the real Gary, will come into play. He'll probably come to games. Be pretty cool. It's probably just see him chilling.
He's come to the Civil
Yeah,
War
he's come
last
to-
year.
Who,
Yeah.
Gary?
Yeah.
Gary.
Oh, yeah, I saw him at the Beaver store.
Yeah, he'll probably come here more
He's been coming
consistently.
he's on the sideline at a few football games.
Wait, isn't it? I heard it's not his stepson, is it?
No, it's not
No.
his stepson. This is real.
That was a joke.
That was Lou trolling. So
Why
Lou,
would
if you're listening,
what would the-
Grant just fell for your troll.
No, I didn't fall for it. I was just verifying.
his stepson be named Gary Payton.
I don't know.
That'd be the biggest coincidence on earth.
Change his name. I don't know.
Yeah, change. That'd be funny. Change his name to his stepdad's name just to fit in. But yeah, we'll see if
He honestly didn't look like Gary Payton that much in the highlights.
we'll see if he can overshadow the.
The glove.
No, he's not gonna overshadow the glove.
And we got another signing from Florida, Chai Baker.
What's up with these
His name's
Florida
Chai?
signings?
Chai tea latte.
Everyone brings their Starbucks chai tea lattes.
Yeah, seriously though, he's
Ultimate
6'3", 175-pound guard from Florida.
So what do you? Yeah, basketball
Yeah.
team.
We're
getting some recruits because we obviously we're gonna have key players.
Yeah, because Robinson, he can recruit. He's a great recruiter.
Yeah, he brings,
And that's why
he
he's so-
brings tons of people here.
That's why Robinson is still around, because he can recruit. But if the team doesn't turn,
he brings that little extra push.
yeah,
that
but if
draw.
if the team doesn't start turning this around,
he'll lose his job.
I think he's gone.
yeah, because this year this is all of his recruits. They're
It has been for like the past 2 years, right?
2-3 years,
you know,
and especially after this year, we're losing Roberto,
Yeah,
Devon. Honestly, I think Moreland has to come back for another year because he's not
Yeah.
going to want to enter the
Who's
draft
go-
after
yeah.
being gone for half the season.
what NBA team's gonna want
take
to
a chance on a 15 suspension.
Yeah,
As good as Eric's potential is, I still think there's areas of his game he needs to develop.
Shooting the ball.
We'll see how he, if he's really been working at it. If he took advantage of this suspension, has really been in the gym, studying film and working out. We'll see what he does. I'm optimistic for it. I'm excited for his debut, but
Yep.
we'll see where the basketball team goes.
Just
It's sort-
throwing this out
sort of a
there,
toss-up.
Berto Nelson, averaging 30 a game. No big deal. 30
Yeah.
points,
just killing.
Yeah,
it.
look,
5 assists, 4 rebounds, 3 steals.
fun little stat alert. He's had 19 straight games of double digits.
Berto is
He's
killing it.
dynamic.
He
Well,
is
there's
killing it.
There's really no one else to really score the ball. Like Angus,
No.
Angus comes in, he gets
Angus
he got a double last night, but
I feel like Angus has no confidence.
maybe he just needs to get back in.
I think it's just
from the
it's
knee
a
injury last
mentality
year.
thing.
Like,
It's
he has wide
totally
open
a mentality
shots.
thing.
He has wide open shots. I see him hit them all the warm up sessions.
Yep.
He nails them, and then when it comes to the game, he has it, and he just tries to dribble it in.
And I think the team right now is what happened. Sorry, what happened when Cunningham left? It was that sort of lull in the game where we didn't have a leader. We didn't Moreland didn't step up after Cunningham left.
What? Yeah.
But now,
you see Roberto.
It seems like Roberto's got that confidence, and he obviously knows that he's the head of this team.
Yeah, last year you'd see Berto.
Defer a bit.
Yeah, he would almost be trying to go a little bit too passive last year. Also, he tried to get more people involved. But this
Definitely
year,
not at all.
This year he's just like, give me the ball. I'm
You know who he
He's
reminds me of?
smoking.
He reminds me of Jared Bayless in Portland Summer League. Remember that? Do you remember watching that? Jared Bayless
I
was
do.
just like, he's kind of ball hog, but at the same time, like, we won a lot of games and in that Summer League, not OSU, but he kind of reminds me of like a Jared Bayless type player, and I could honestly see him.
Let's just hope he doesn't turn into the Jared Bayless NBA.
Hopefully, he doesn't
status.
have the Jared Bayless mentality, like cockiness.
Hey, Jared Bailey's still not out of the league.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's
He's a six man
decent
on the
player,
Grizzlies.
but
He's a backup point guard.
He's clearly not the hype that he got coming into
Biggest
the league.
biggest hype ever of a point guard is Sebastian Telfair.
He was supposed to be one of the
Don't even
next
say
best
that
point
name.
guards.
That was such a wasted draft pick.
I don't know if you guys watched that movie by Sebastian Telfair, Through the
Trash.
Fire.
Nope.
Yeah, it was pretty
Yeah, I've
hilarious.
seen part of it. Sebastian's trash. Don't even mention his name. Every time I see someone in a Sebastian jersey, I'm just like, go home and burn that
Frustrates
place.
me so much.
Oh, he got drafted by the Blazers, huh?
Yeah.
That's what we're saying.
Well, I'm
I
so
totally
upset.
forgot about that. That's
Yeah. Another classic.
It was a high draft pick if I
you
remember
wanna-
too.
Let's mark one on the chalkboard for failed Blazer draft picks, right along next to Nolan Smith and I don't want to say Myers yet. Maybe in 2 years I can say
Nolan
Myers.
Smith, Luke Babbitt, 15th overall pick.
I would say
And we could have got, instead of Nolan Smith, we could have got Kenneth Freed.
we could have gotten Kenneth
Instead of Luke Babbitt, we could have
Manimal
gotten.
Fareed.
But that's what you say every draft, you know?
Yeah.
It's like
You-
the Darko
you can't-
Milicic thing.
You can't look
just-
back because obviously if the Supersonics had been number one in the draft, they would have picked Greg Oden too.
And we would have had Kevin Durant and LaMarcus Aldridge.
Okay, stop. You're just getting me excited over here, and sad. But we'll talk about NBA in the last half hour. But I think right now we're gonna take a quick little PSA break and coming back. What do you guys want to talk about coming back?
We go into NFL picks. And
Go a little NFL picks and move the end of the show into some
We could use a little fantasy talk.
little fantasy talk and then end it in some ASU predictions for tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, the
Big game. All right. So coming back, you've listened to KBVR Corvallis, Second String Sports. I'm Jake McGrady, Grant Van Dyke, and Logan McGinnis. We'll be back.
A few years ago, I noticed my vision getting blurry. I thought it was part of getting older, but I was wrong. I have a disease called age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. It's the leading cause of blindness in people 55 and older. There are treatments for AMD, but early detection is key to saving your sight. To receive a free AMD packet, call the Foundation Fighting Blindness at 800-585-0516. That's 800-585-0516. You'll be glad you did.
All right, we're back. KBVR Corvallis, this is Second String Sports. If you're just now tuning in, we're going to move into a little NFL predictions for Sunday during the day. We've already talked about a few of the big games. So what do you guys have to say for the other picks?
All right. I'll run through them.
Yeah, well, we had a game last night we missed with the
Colts Titans.
Yeah,
It was an
Colts,
interesting
Titans.
game.
Yeah.
So Colts were getting blown out, right?
Looking at the
Colts were getting manhandled.
Yeah, looking at the stats,
should
you don't
have
see how the Colts. I don't see how the Colts won.
Andrew Luck pulled a
didn't-
little Tom Brady there.
Yeah, didn't throw a touchdown, only 232 yards.
Did you see him get flustered?
Yeah,
He was
and
big
then,
time.
Luck got straight flustered on the
Big time
sidelines.
flustered.
yeah, and Chris Johnson has a decent game.
Pulled a Tom Brady, started yelling at people.
Maybe it got people motivated, but
Yeah, that's what they were saying on ESPN
Yeah.
this morning. Is that kind of changed the game around when he started.
Yeah, because whatever Luck ran in for a touchdown, but he didn't have a good game at all. I just don't see how they won, but I feel like the last couple weeks that's what the Colts have been doing.
Colts are 7-3.
Ball
Yeah.
don't lie. Ball don't lie.
Colts have been squeezing games out. I forget who they played. Oh, Houston. They played Houston last week, and they barely won that one too.
It's the luck of the Andrew Luck.
Ooh, that.
Coincidence.
Ooh, ironic.
All right, so Jets, Bills.
Ooh.
What do you guys think?
All right.
It's in Buffalo.
Yeah, the Jets are
Well,
actually
it's
on
in New York, but
Yeah,
whatever.
the Jets are actually on a little hot streak here. Beat the Saints last week.
Yep,
And
my boy Gino.
That was a crazy win.
and
I'm a Geno Smith fan.
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. Geno Smith gets it done. I don't. Whatever you have to say about him, he gets it done. He's a winner.
Yeah, I'm not really a big Jets fan. I've never been a Jets fan, but somehow they're.
I don't think Grant's a Jets fan.
My parents are Jets fans.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Well, because when we went there, people were like Jets, Jets, all in Times Square and stuff, And so we're like, all right, well, these fans are awesome. Let's buy some merchandise. And then my mom has a Jets fan. She always wears on her walks. Shout out my mom. And
Mama Van Dyke.
And yeah,
that's you can't blame the older generation for just picking sports.
But I mean, if there's no NFL team in Portland, what are they supposed to do? That's
true.
And we watched the Hard Knocks on them. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I've never seen the Hard Knocks.
It's pretty entertaining with Rex Ryan, and it makes you like them, honestly. And we watched that in our hotel room.
I don't know if it would make me like them.
No, the key for the Jets has been Chris Ivory. He's been running with his head down, just going beast mode. Last week he ran for 139 yards and TD. Yeah, he was the key. Last week because they just kept getting first down after first down.
Yeah, and
I do think I actually have the Jets taking this game.
Going against the Bills with my first pick in the fantasy draft. CJ Spiller has been probably the biggest bust this whole season, honestly.
Well, biggest bust might be Arian Foster, who just.
But that's because he's not playing.
Well, yeah. Well, now he just had a season-ending injury.
Well, I know, but I mean, I'm talking about guys that are playing though.
Yeah. Well, Spiller was hurt too. He had an ankle problem.
Yeah.
The Bills, let's just not. We don't even need. The Bills don't get any credit. The Bills, they have one of the, their fan base is dying. But nothing to talk about with the Bills.
Yeah.
Jets got that one, I think. Rex Ryan is saving his job one day at a time or 1 week at a time. He'll be back.
And
Jets will be back.
We already talked about Ravens Bears.
Already talked about Ravens. Did we say who do you think's going to win that one, Logan?
Let me guess. The Bears.
Where it's in Chicago?
Yeah, it's in Chicago. But Luke McGowan is starting.
I think I am going to go Chicago. Luke McCown actually impressed the other week against Green Bay. So, Baltimore, sorry, Grant, they really haven't impressed me at all this whole entire year.
They're in a Super Bowl slump.
That's true.
Yeah, Joe Flacco hasn't.
They're still 4-5 though.
Flacco hasn't done much. Ray Rice has been a little up and down, mostly down.
Slumps.
But I know me too.
Teams get so cocky and
I don't know what.
And then the Ravens made some. Their trades that they made in the offseason made no sense.
Yeah,
Bolden's gonna demand a big contract.
True, but
it's we have Torrey Smith.
You cannot deny with the money they gave to Flacco, that was ridiculous.
I don't know, dude. Did you see him in the playoff run?
Yeah, I agree that he's a great quarterback, but I think they could have got him to stay for a lot less. I don't know.
No, they probably couldn't get him to stay less. Is either he was going to get.
You think another team would offer him that max contract?
I think they would.
What other team would need him?
The Bucks.
Yeah, teams are desperate.
That's true.
The Jaguars. Anybody.
I can see that.
Who knows? The Chiefs might even.
When you get even a solid quarterback like Tony Romo, you have to pay them. It's
solid. More like.
No, Tony Romo's solid.
Midway between soft and hard.
Tony Romo
and trash.
Kind of like dog do when you pick it up. When you pick it up in the backyard after your dog's gone to the bathroom.
And after it's already been soaking wet.
All right, excuse me, I'm going to go throw up.
Whoa. This talk is getting disgusting, kind of like the Cowboys. Ooh, yeah, I said it.
I'm not supporting the Cowboys.
I know. No one here supports the Cowboys.
Okay. And, another interesting matchup is Browns-Bengals.
What do you guys say on this one?
I have no idea.
Yeah. This is a game where
this is just going to be ugly.
I don't know about ugly, but
I think
it's not going to be particularly exciting.
Yeah, this is going to be a big game for their division, but
for their division, it's huge.
Yeah, I think the Bengals are going to win.
Defining game for their division.
It's still going to be boring, though.
Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be a close game. It depends if...
7-3 or something.
Yeah, it's going to depend if the...
Big-time viewership on this one,
the Browns can actually run the ball. They had McGahee, but McGahee hasn't been running at all. Maybe I think he's almost doing a Trent Richardson running for 20 yards or 20 carries for 30
Richardson
yards.
Most disappointing
since he's 4-0 at
end
home
of the season.
Since he's gonna pull it out, probably.
Haven't
lost at home yet.
Yeah, I think I actually am gonna take the Bengals.
Brandon Weeden has more picks and touchdowns this year.
Oh my God, Weeden.
Well,
Don't even get Browns fans started on
Are
the
they
lead-in.
are they still playing Campbell?
Jason Campbell.
Yeah, I think they are.
They're starting Campbell.
Yeah, they've been starting Jason Campbell.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting. We'll see about that one. So what's one more? Let's do a couple more big games. I think we already talked.
Washington, Philly.
Washington, Philly. Yeah, Philly's got that one. Nick Foles.
Yeah,
Nick Foles, 10 touchdowns in the last 2 games, 0 interceptions. I'm riding the Bulls fan wagon.
yeah, don't look now, but Eagles are 5-5 after a little disappointing start. Nick Foles turning this thing around.
Upset alert? Not upset. Comeback. The comeback kings. Philadelphia. Who knows?
I still see Redskins making a run, though. I think they're going to make a push.
What?
Yeah. Redskins are making a push.
Yeah, one thing I'm really impressed with Foles is he hasn't thrown an interception all year.
Well,
Yeah, not just in the 2 games. Well, he hasn't been playing all year, but
Yeah, but for the games he's thrown for over. He's thrown for more yards than Michael Vick already.
Yeah.
And
that's pretty impressive.
And he has 16 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He's keep controlling the ball.
Foles he's got a future. He's going to be the quarterback for Philadelphia next year, starting quarterback. There's no doubt. I don't think they bring back Vic. He might be there as second string option, but he's either gonna. What is this the last year on his contract? Is he gone?
Okay, well, the 7 touchdown game was against Oakland, so let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. Oakland is trash, as Jake would say.
Trash.
I didn't even give him the courtesy of
Against
saying
Green
trash.
Bay, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think I still
Isn't
take I take Philly on that one.
He's solid.
I don't know.
And we already
RG
discussed. What?
RG3 is gonna have some work to do if they want to make the playoffs. We'll see what happens.
They're still right there, though.
They are.
So are Cowboys.
Surprisingly, they're still there.
Because that division is terrible.
We got RG3 over here. Throwing those touchdowns.
And we already talked about Green Bay Giants could be interesting.
Green Bay Giants. Oh, that some other breaking news in the NFL. Mr. Matt Flynn back in Green Bay.
Oh, yeah.
He's made a full circle of his career. You know, he had that outstanding game for Green Bay after Rodgers sat out before the playoffs. He goes to Seattle. He's all right. I got $30 million. I'm going to be the starting quarterback of the franchise. Oh, no, my boy Russie comes in and totally demolishes your career. You're nothing compared to him. Move on to Oakland. They cut you. You move on.
He got beat out by Terrell Pryor. He's just getting beat out everywhere he goes.
He gets beat out everywhere he goes. And you can't say poor guy because he's rolling in the dough. He's probably got chicks hanging out of his car. But, you know,
Chicks or checks?
both. He's got money flying out the door when he opens it, and he's got a few supermodels in the back seat. But yeah, Matt Flynn, he's had a full circle. He's back to where he started, and he'll probably be in Green Bay for a few more years now. I don't know. We'll see what he does though with Aaron being out for the next 3 weeks or so.
Didn't he get that contract after like 1 game?
Yeah, he got that $30 million from Seattle.
So ridiculous.
They're like
based off
400 passing yards.
Based off of that 407 touchdown.
And us
game.
college students have to work for our money, and he just gets it after 1 game.
Yep, that's a story of
The life of an athlete.
That's the business of professional sports, ladies and gentlemen. Getting money for
I wonder how much of that 30 mil he actually received, though.
it was $10 million guaranteed.
Oh.
So he didn't get the full contract, but still $10 million in your pocket for no games. He never started once for Seattle.
So does Green Bay have to pay that now? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, Green Bay took on that contract, but they're probably thinking, we need.
That's a lot for a starter, huh? He's gonna be their starter now, so.
Yeah.
All right.
I take Green Bay.
Enough NFL, I think.
Yep. You want to move on to the ASU game and then end the show with some NBA talk?
Yep.
Deal.
Big game on Saturday in Tempe, 6:30 ESPNU. You know, it's been a rough 3 weeks here for us Beaver fans. I know we've already covered a little bit on the show the disappointing last 2 games we've had. But, you know, coming off the bye week, Mike Riley is pretty notorious for how he's performed coming off of a bye week. Not going to lie, he knows how to rally a team when they got that extra week of rest.
Yeah, I read an article the other day saying how they need to get Brandon Cooks the ball. They need to get more involved in the offense. And quoting Cooks here, he says, Mike Riley's cooking stuff up already. So
No pun intended. Cooking up the competition.
You know, Mike Riley really does need to do something. And, you know, I would even suggest throwing in some Wildcat with Cooks.
I agree.
Like they did with Rogers, you know.
James Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
Think so?
Yeah,
I see more end arounds than Wildcat. If anything.
Yeah, but anything like just like Wildcat go around slant, like just.
Could you imagine Teron Ward in the Wildcat?
Hey, Teron Ward's becoming the featured back at Oregon State.
Teron would just go bowling ball right ahead into the line.
Yeah, he's been running better than Storm.
I know, but he's not the typical back you would see in the Wildcat. That's what I'm trying to say.
True.
Well, I wouldn't put him in the Wildcat either.
With with Arizona State's loss to Utah, their front seven, don't get me wrong, their front seven's pretty dynamic, but there's cracks in their armor. They got completely manhandled by Utah's running game, which obviously we haven't been able. It's been getting better, but if we're able to have somewhat of a running game, I think that'll be a huge factor.
Yeah, it's gonna be a shootout.
But another factor that I'd like to point out is Caleb Smith and Connor Hamlet, our two featured tight ends, are going to be on the field for the first time since like October 12th. They haven't played on the field at the same time in a month.
And ASU just lost their main linebacker, didn't they?
ASU lost one of their big linebackers. So we all know that our red zone offense has not been ideal.
We literally get stopped on the 30 almost every offensive possession.
So I think
then we try to go for it.
And then we go for it, and then
we go for it, and then
turn
something bad happens. But what do you guys think? I think having the full squad of tight ends, the sheer size of that is going to improve. It's just going to be an option for us.
Yeah, because it's Sean Mannion. It's like it's his security blanket.
The tight ends, that's his.
It's his go-to.
When they're healthy and they're on the field, if it's the right time, he connects. And the tight ends are honestly like one of the best parts of Oregon State's offense, aside from Brandon Cooks.
Well, this is gonna be a key game for Sean Mannion. He really
will he come back? Will he
key game for OSU?
Struggling offense. He said 8 sacks in one game against Stanford. Threw 3 interceptions.
He got beat
in another
up.
game. And his passing yards have been
they've been
a
decreasing.
big dip from what they were at the start of the year.
But that was expected, though.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody expected him to keep it up.
Yeah, but the thing is, because we can't run the ball. We haven't been running the ball at all, so we just keep
It's what he needs to do every game, and if he's getting,
it's how we get our offense because we can't run.
It is our offense.
More importantly, what's our defense going to do? I think that's a bigger question than our offense.
Yeah, I think our defense
coming off the bye week is going to be huge for our defense.
Yeah,
Dylan Wynn and Scott Crichton are going to need, because we all know how we fared against mobile quarterbacks.
If our secondary can get some
Eastern
picks,
Washington and Utah,
get some pick sixes.
The secondary is probably the most consistent.
We need them to step up.
Strongest part of our defense.
But it's going to be another key thing for us to do this week, because we haven't done it the past 2 weeks, is stop Arizona State's running back Marion Grice.
Oh, Grice.
Yeah, he has 18 touchdowns this season already, and I think it's 12 rushing, 6 receiving, but
their run game is.
Yeah, because
has been pretty crazy.
Our run defense has not been.
Well, against USC offensive line and Stanford offensive line, we're gonna get demolished.
Yeah, this
because those guys are brutes. I don't think.
Well, so is Arizona State, and
really?
And their offensive defensive line, they're great defensive line. Their defensive line is better than their offensive line, but it's gonna be key for us to stop Grice.
Yep. There's gonna be little room for error on either side of the ball. I honestly think it's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Canzano predicted 31-30. But
who do you pick?
I hate to say it.
Did he have ASU?
He had ASU.
Yeah, because Arizona State's ranked 19th?
Yeah, they're 19th.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really tough game.
It's gonna be a tough game,
don't
but
know.
It's hard
I could
to
see us
say.
pulling it out.
It's hard to say, but I agree with Grant. Coming off the bye week, I just think something's going to happen. Something needs to happen. The players know it. The coaches know it. The fan base knows it. They've been working on stuff. I think Sean Mannion will come into this really prepared.
Wasn't it around this time last year that we went down to Arizona and beat Arizona like 35-31 or something?
Yeah, like
just
all-
around this same time of the season. I
Like-
think we could do the same exact thing, even typical numbers, maybe 42-35 or
The Beavs,
Yeah.
the Beavs always have that one game in a season, the game we're not supposed to win, that we end up winning.
Mhm.
Yep.
There's
Yeah,
always
because-
that one game.
Yeah, ASU's on
I'd like it to be the Civil War this year, but
ASU's on a 4-game win streak. They've been outscoring their opponents 182-77 in those games. And I think coming off this bye week, it's gonna be key. I think.
Yep.
Yep. Coming off I'm picking Oregon State, a high scoring game. Sean Manning and Brandon Cooks, whatever they've been working on, we'll see what happens. I think it's gonna be a fun game to watch.
Yep.
You know, I know it's a kind of a skewed stat, but Arizona State has not beaten Oregon State in the last 5 years that we've played them.
Score predictions right now.
Score predictions, final predictions.
I'm going 42-38. Beavers.
Ooh, putting up the 40s, throwing back to the Eastern Washington score.
Yep.
I'm gonna go a little bit lower than that. I'm gonna go 31-28 Beavs. It's gonna go right up to the fourth quarter, the last few minutes of the game.
Yeah. I'm gonna go 28-24.
28-24.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Beavs?
I'm gonna go Beavs, but it's gonna be such a
All
tough
right,
game.
I like it. So tune in Saturday, folks. 6:30 ESPNU. We're gonna hit you with one last PSA and then talk NBA for the last 5 minutes of the show, and then we're gonna bid you farewell for this fine, foggy Corvallis Friday. So yeah, tuning in KBVR Corvallis. We'll be right back.
Citizens of America, this is a message from feedthepig.org. Americans spent more money than they earned in 2005. This is the first negative savings rate in the U.S. since the Great Depression. America, we must start feeding the pig. On the 1st and the 15th, we must pay ourselves before we pay anyone or anything. We must make a budget. Even consider cutting up a credit card. Log on to feedthepig.org today. Find the benefits of saving for every stage of life. Brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
And we're back, KBVR Corvallis. You're listening to Second String Sports. We're gonna end up. We've talked NFL, college football. We're gonna end it with a little NBA talk. Our co-host Grant is gonna leave here in a few minutes because he's got class. But me and Logan will finish out the show. So what do you guys? The NBA?
Blazers.
Woo!
Classic Blazer fans getting over.
Second in the West. And guess what? The Spurs only lost to the Blazers.
You know.
Yep.
You guys are. You know. You guys are
Blazers.
acting like the Blazers have won something.
We haven't won something, but we're excited and we deserve to be
It's been
excited.
a couple of years since the Spurs have too, right?
Whoa. But I
Shots fired.
I'm used to winning. I'm used to winning.
All right.
Logan's used to it. We're used to it.
It's
We're
not-
used to it.
It's
We're
not
used to
fun
it.
when you're used to winning. It's fun when you're not supposed to win and you do win.
The
That's why-
NBA last night.
That was
That
epic.
Golden State OKC game.
Epic.
Russell hits that deep three.
I
And,
lo-
they go, Buck, it's over. And then Andre Iguodala, old man Iggy on my fantasy team, comes in blazing.
After that Russell Westbrook 3, my neighbors probably thought I had like a heart attack or something because
Oh, were you
I
going
screamed
crazy?
like so loud. It was
It was crazy, you know.
And then Iggy comes back and just kind of has to
Honestly,
ruin it.
there is, in my opinion, there is no better sport out there than the NBA. It
can change in an instant.
Hashtag where amazing happens.
Can change in an instant.
Best sport, honestly. That's my opinion.
Yep.
Nothing gets better than NBA basketball. And if we want to talk a little firsthand experience, I was actually at the Blazers Phoenix game Wednesday night with the buds. You know, Blazers Phoenix. That's not a sexy matchup when you listen to it, but you know, Phoenix is impressive. They were tied with the same record as the Blazers going into that game.
Down by 4 with 2 minutes. Wesley Matthews, step
Yep.
back 3. I think that was the play of the game, honestly.
Yeah.
People talk about Lillard's, but I think any player on the team could have made that layup, including Myers Leonard.
Well, maybe not.
Well, let's not get carried away.
But yeah,
yet,
I was up in the 300 section with my buds, and we snuck down to the 100 level, about 5 rows away from the court for the fourth quarter.
Shout out Kyle Rinker.
Shout out Kyle Rinker, my bud Kyle Rinker participated at the end of the first quarter.
Made a layup with hockey gloves on.
Made a layup, and he won 4 Winterhawks tickets, which is kind of like winning 4 hot dogs, but
Classic Kyle.
classic Kyle.
No one
but-
likes hockey.
Yeah, they're kind of entertaining. But yeah, I was right down there in the 100 level. for the last 12 minutes of the game. The crowd was crazy. In the last 2 years, I've been to two games where it's come down to the last 5-second game-winning shots.
Yep.
Damian, we turned clutch. Like I've said, Thomas Robinson, Mr. Logan dropped him from his fantasy team to waivers. I picked him up. I know he still likes him. Obviously, we all appreciate him. He's a great guy, has a great backstory. But I think this is finally his time to shine. He's gotten hardly any minutes up until now. He does need to work on his free throws, let's be honest.
Could you see Blazers starting him alongside Aldridge?
I could see it.
Or maybe trading Aldridge and making Thomas Robinson in the future.
Don't even talk. No.
Robinson's
Heck
skill
no.
set is not even close to Aldridge.
But 10 games from now, I honestly can see him starting. He hustles with such heart on his offensive
as much as I like
boards.
my guy Rolo, I don't know.
Rolo.
He's not a long-term answer. He's kind of a patch-up. I see Robinson as maybe a potential long-term answer in Portland.
Robinson's a great guy. I love Robinson.
And we could, like Logan said, we could trade for
we'll see.
Maybe a stud shooting guard. I don't know.
The fandom was flying when Robinson came in on that offensive jam. Totally slammed it in there. I was down there right there with my friends for the end of that game. Phoenix missed 3 shots in a row.
Classic Markieff Morris or Marcus, whichever one.
He slumped to the floor in shame. But
Regardless,
regardless, that game was
and
amazing.
you know what's funny? Kevin Love had an identical play. I think it was on Monday where he missed a tip-in.
We want to talk about Kevin Love. Kevin Love has been outstanding.
Kevin Love's going beast.
Yep,
Kevin Love, Portland pride. Portland represent.
Yep. Unfortunately, I got to roll, so thanks for tuning in. Jake and Logan are going to keep going.
We'll finish it out.
Yep. Thanks for listening.
Grant's going to head out. But yeah, Logan, so what are some other headlines in the NBA you want to talk about? We talked about Blazers. Blazers second in the West. We'll see what happens with the Blazers.
Yeah, there wasn't that much
wasn't that
NBA
many,
going on last night. There was just
besides for that Golden State crazy headline.
Yeah.
Oh, do we want to talk about the OKC Clips game on Wednesday night?
Ooh.
Matt Barnes.
Matt Barnes just going ham.
We can't particularly say on air what he
tweeted.
But in an essence, I'll just sum it up for you. He basically said, I got love for my teammates, but I'm not standing up for them anymore. All they do is cost me money.
And
got ejected from the game, fined $25,000, which is
got fined, and then he got fined for his tweet as well.
Fined for the tweet, tacked onto that pocket change to him. But regardless, I've never liked his attitude.
Yeah.
His attitude
Matt
is
Barnes,
trash.
Who asked you to stick up for your teammates?
Who asked you to step in, Matt Barnes? It was a tangle between Ibaka and Blake that would have just fizzled.
Yeah, Barnes comes in here.
You could physically tell Ibaka was fine. Blake was about to walk away,
and then Ibaka was about to punch him in the face.
Barnes comes out of nowhere and gives him a chest shove, and Ibaka clocks back like he's gonna sock him, and then that's when it all breaks loose.
Yeah.
The refs come in. Barnes plucks his twin sons from the stands, walks to the locker room, goes off on Twitter. He's apologized since then, but that was a pretty big story Wednesday night in the NBA. Definitely.
Yeah.
NBA's just getting. This is the time of year when teams got their hype. You got to obviously the Blazers have hype. All the other, Phillies had hype.
And too bad Grant's not here now to talk about it, but Derrick Rose unlikely to play this today with his hamstring.
He's injured.
Yep, injured hamstring.
Derrick.
Yeah,
I love Derrick Rose. He's a great guy, but he's not himself this season.
Yeah,
he was, coming back in that very first game.
Yeah,
he's still tentative. He's still working on some stuff.
Not shooting the ball well.
Not shooting the ball well at all.
It's been a struggle.
People are saying he's going to be the league MVP this year. No, unless he turns something crazy around. But the Bulls will still make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
The Bulls will make the playoffs. How well they do in the playoffs, too early to tell. Too early to tell if Derrick healthy by then, if he's feeling himself by then. They've got playmakers. Obviously, they're a strong team with or without him. They went pretty far in the season last year without him the whole year.
There's also been a couple trade rumors speculating around the NBA as well. We have a Sheik on the Rockets is
Omer Sheik.
He's requested a trade, but then there's been sources saying that the request he's been declined, been denied as well.
Is he going to be jailed up in Houston then?
Yeah, he might just be the backup center to the White now because now they're starting homeless beater Terrence Jones.
The homeless man stomper.
Yeah.
That's one person.
You know, Terrence Jones is a good player when he's not.
I'm not gonna say Portland pride against that man right there.
Yeah, when he's not stomping out homeless people.
When he's not stomping out poor hobo's legs.
Yeah.
Terrence Jones is a mediocre to good basketball player.
Yeah.
Which doesn't say much about your personality or accomplishments.
And then the other trade that was
declined.
Yeah, declined was
Iman Shumpert for Kenneth Faried.
Yeah.
What do you think about who would be winning in that situation?
Honestly, I think the Manimal, a.k.a. Faried.
You think New York would be winning?
New York be winning that. I'm not a Shumpert fan. I think Shumpert's attitude is just trash.
Trash.
Yeah. No,
I'm not a Shumpert.
I'm not a Shumpert fan, and I think that'd be.
He's more focused on his rap career.
If hypothetically, if that actually did go through, that'd be a great trade for the Knicks because they would get a power forward because you got Amari who's just going downhill. His knees are absolutely about to die on him, and then you also have Tim Hardaway Jr. who's stepped up in games.
Balling hard like Tim Hardaway.
Yeah, when J.R. Smith's been out, Tim Hardaway stepped up and he's been going clutch.
And Tyson Chandler out for
God
knows how long.
Yeah,
5
you
to
need
6
another
weeks.
big man.
They need a big man presence.
I was surprised in that the other night's game, Houston and New York.
Carmelo had 45 last night.
Yeah, it was Carmelo and the James Harden show, but I thought
statistically when Carmelo has those games, they always lose though.
Yeah, I thought Dwight Howard would be like, give me the ball this game because because New York didn't have anyone to guard him. But
and if you noticed, J.R. Smith coming back from his suspension, or J.R. Spliff, I think he's putting some substances in his body, probably still to this day. But J.R. Smith said in an interview that he is now stepping up as the leader of New York. It's like, okay, JR, the leader of what? Maybe your little bike squad? Run your
around New York?
Run your bike around New York to the games?
Yeah.
I don't know. Then New York, I've never been a New York fan. I was a fan maybe for one season when my favorite player of all time, Tracy McGrady, was there for a year trying to resurrect his career. But other than that, I like Melo. You know, he's a cool player, but not someone you want to, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just not a very big
because
believer.
last week talked about MVPs and who we thought MVPs would be, and I said Paul George. I'm definitely going back to it. I think it's Kevin Love right now.
Oh yeah, I'd agree with you on that.
You know, Kevin. You know where the Timberwolves are. How good if the Timberwolves make the playoffs.
White chocolate.
If the Timberwolves make the playoffs, I think Kevin Love should be up there. He's up there in MVP. His game's at an MVP caliber right now.
It is, but you know NBA politics, there's a strong chance he won't get it.
Yeah. You know, everyone's going to be like, oh, LeBron, Kevin Durant.
I'd rather have Kevin Durant get it over LeBron, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But I hate to say it, but the Timberwolves always find a way to fizzle. They always do.
Yeah.
Kevin Love puts that team on his back. Ricky Rubio's been pretty impressive, but he's nothing that could be an option, like a game-winning situation.
Well, you know, if the Timberwolves play as good as I play with them in 2K,
little 2K14.
AKA, I've been spanking Jake in 2K the past couple days.
We'll give you updates week to week on the 2K tournaments because I'm working on my game. I'm a huge 2K fan, but I always end up fizzling in the fourth. So it's a tough situation when it comes to the NBA 2K14 for me. But
yeah,
I'll be working on that.
Timberwolves are my new team easily.
Logan's a Timberwolf fan.
I've jumped on the bandwagon here.
Little K-Love bandwagoner. Can't lie though. K-Love's fun. You can't hate him. He's cool. He's a great guy. Portland native. Sister went to Lake Oswego High School. His dad was in the NBA. His uncle was a beach boy. Cool.
Just a stud.
Just a cool story. You know, if you don't accomplish something in that family, you're a failure. Yep. So I think that's it was kind of a slow week in the NBA, but sort of wrapped it up there. Got a Just a reminder, Saturday is the big headline.
Big game.
Tune in Saturday against Arizona State. We'll be talking about that next week. Hopefully next week we might have a few guests in here, trying to get an athlete in here to talk about maybe football, maybe basketball. If any athletes are listening, I know a few of them, so we'd love to have you in if you're up and at 'em, 9:30 a.m. Want to stop by on Fridays? We'd love to have you talk some sports. So yeah. Once again, this has been KBVR Corvallis, Second String Sports. We talk sports because we're not quite good enough to go pro. Maybe we are.
Bench warmers.
Maybe we're not. We ride the bench, and we're proud of it. But yeah, I'm Jake McGrady.
I'm Logan McGinnis.
And that was Grant Van Dyke. And
Bye, Grant.
Bye, Grant. Grant had to leave a little bit early for his class. But yeah. If you want to tweet us questions, tweet us stuff you want to discuss, I'm at jmcgrady7. I'll let Logan shout his out.
I'm at LT McGinnis.
Tweet us some questions. We'll feature you on the show.
Also tweet at Second String Sports.
Tweet at our official Twitter.
ND.
If you want to get in live discussions during the show, we'll be searching hashtag Second String Sports. If you want to hashtag it either way, spelling out second or just 2ND. Either way, we'll interact with you during the show. And yeah. It's been a great show.
Great week. Ready
great
to
Friday.
Do some homework, watch some Dexter.
Yep. So we'll catch you next Friday on Second String Sports. This is KBVR Corvallis signing out.